Hello everyone, my name is Olivia and welcome to a new reading vlog where you, my subscribers, get to choose what I am going to read. So a couple of weeks ago I posted a video showing you 5 or 6 books on my TBR that I am very excited to read. I told you about the synopsis, I told you about how I learned about those books and shared my excitement with you, and I let you all vote on what I should read and film a reading vlog for, and you all chose Malibu Rising by Jenkins Reid, and I am so far only 62 pages in, but I do want to let you know that another book was very close to winning this little poll that I had in that other video. And that other book was A Sky Painted Gold. These two books were actually tied with one another, and I was waiting to see if more votes would come in, and then slowly but surely a couple more people voted, and they all voted for Malibu Rising, so this one won by maybe like 4 or 5 points, but this was very close behind. So if you are still eager to see me do a reading vlog for this, let me know in the comments, but either way, let's talk about Malibu Rising. So Malibu Rising is a historical fiction written by Jenkins Reid, who is one of my auto-buy authors. Anything that she will put out in the future, I am going to read either way. So this follows a family of famous surfers in Malibu, California, and this takes place over the course of one day where tragedy strikes at the end. So I'm going to read you the blurb on the back because I actually did not read the full synopsis for this novel. I just knew that Jenkins Reid was publishing a new book and I really wanted to read it, and I was lucky enough to be able to get an early copy from the publisher, so thank you so much to them for gifting me a free copy of Malibu Rising. But let me read you the blurb on the back. So it says, Nina Riva spent her whole life holding it together. One night will bring it all crashing down. From the best-selling author of the stylish and propulsive Daisy Jones and the Six comes an unforgettable new novel set in 1983 Malibu, where 4 famous siblings throw an epic party to celebrate the end of summer, and in a few short hours change their lives forever. So I'm only 62 pages in, and I do have to say I'm really slugging along with this book. I am not as captured by it as I was with Daisy Jones or Evelyn Hugo. I am very much struggling to get into this book. It could be because I'm in a book slump, it could be because it's just not the right time to read this book, but I do hope to make a very decent dent into this book today because I have been procrastinating reading it, because unlike Daisy Jones and the Six and unlike Evelyn Hugo, I am not immediately sucked into the characters. I don't feel connected to them yet because we follow a bunch of different siblings in the same family, and we're all following their points of views, and I just haven't latched on to someone yet. I haven't latched on to the plot yet, so I'm very much struggling to get into this book. And I always have this terrible habit where if I'm not immediately sucked into a book, I very much procrastinate reading the book and sitting down and getting deeper into it. So I've come up with a multitude of excuses not to sit down and read more of Malibu Rising, but today is the day. Today I am at least getting to page 150. I really hope so because I want to get deeper into the story, and I do want to say that this vlog is going to be spoiler filled, so if you have not read Malibu Rising yet and you're hoping to, do not watch the rest of this video because I'm going to talk very much in depth about the book. And if you are not interested in Malibu Rising, if you just want to see a reading vlog, if you are not planning on reading the book, then this vlog will be perfect for you. But if you do not want to get spoiled, this video is not going to be for you. So just a fair warning ahead of time for all of that. So right now I'm going to go outside, I'm going to read, catch some vitamin D, and just get deeper into Malibu Rising because I do want to see what's going to happen next. I do hope that I can enjoy this as much as Daisy Jones and the Six and Evelyn Hugo, but who knows, because I feel like the beginning is very rough for me. It's not really gripping me. But before we go, I do want to share with you my outfit of the day because I think it's really cute. So my shirt is from Redbubble, and I will be sure to link the design down below, and my mom jeans are from H&M, I believe, and my lipstick that I'm wearing right now is Bumble from ColourPop. I put it on very lightly, so it's kind of like a muted tone and it's not as colorful as it would be if I were to put it on fully, but I'm really enjoying my outfit, and now I'm going to go read outside. I got about like 30 pages deeper into Malibu Rising, and now my interest is piqued. There have been a couple of revelations from each character, and we're also getting flashbacks to the parents of all these children, and it's certainly interesting. Things are happening. My interest is piqued now as I just hit such a good part that I want to know what's going to happen next, because oof, what the character is going through, I would be so angry. I would be like fiery angry if that happened to me. I'm just in shock. So I can't wait to see what's going to happen next. I also wanted to say that I was looking on Goodreads, and there are sometimes frequently asked questions under a book before the reviews are there. And someone asked if one of the characters from The Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo is in this book to kind of connect both of those universes together. And the father of all these children was in The Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo. So I thought that was a very interesting fact. I think because I have such terrible memory, I would have never made that connection. So I'm glad that I saw that on Goodreads before reading this book, because it kind of adds some more intrigue into the book now that I know that these two books are somewhat connected. Hello and welcome to day 2, and I am up to page 158 of Malibu Rising. I left off on page 130 yesterday, so I'm caught up and I'm up to my goal that I wanted to hit yesterday. But I just wanted to let you know about my feelings about the book so far. I'm very interested in the story now compared to the beginning. I really enjoy the fact that the author is now flip-flopping between the past and the present to show you the siblings as adults and the siblings growing up. So we are now getting an in-depth look into their childhood and how they grew up in a very dysfunctional home because of their parents and how they had a very rocky relationship. And I'm just so angry at Mick Riva. He's just such a terrible person. He is the father of all these siblings, and it is just so baffling that someone can be so disinterested in their children, and it just makes me so sad. So we are learning more about their childhood and how they grew up together and had to really stick together in order to survive their childhood. So that's what I really enjoy. And normally if an author would go between the past and the present so often, it would kind of take me out of the story, but I feel like Taylor does it in such a seamless way that you don't even notice the change, and it just feels so organic and thoughtful, and it just feels so natural in a way. It doesn't take you out of the story. So now I am back to the present, and I'm eager to see what's going to happen next, because I feel like the past has a lot of action in it and the present is like a slow burn. It's like a pot of water that is slowly boiling, and you know that something is going to happen, but you don't know what it is yet. So I am on page 217 of Malibu Rising, and I didn't realize that there were 2 parts to this story, or maybe even more than 2 parts, but I finally hit part 2. So now we are focusing less on the flashbacks, and we are staying in the present with these 4 siblings, with Nina, Hyde, Kit, and Jay. And the party that they throw every single year is in full swing, and things are getting a little bit tense because each sibling has a secret or something that they're currently working through. Like Nina is working through her failed marriage, Hyde is hiding the fact that he has a secret girlfriend, Jay is just being Jay, and Kit is trying to have her first kiss, which I think is really cute. I think I like Nina and Kit the most because I feel more connected to them. I love Kit's very fiery personality, even though we don't see it that often. And I just really love Nina because she is just a strong woman who had to raise her siblings herself at such a young age. We are currently at the party, and I wanted to give you that update, and I cannot wait to read more. And I was reading this alongside my friend Alexandria, and she already finished it before me because she is such a quick reader, and we were giving each other updates, so I'm a little bit behind because she already finished it, but I am texting her my thoughts throughout the process of reading this because I have many thoughts about these characters, because some of them are truly terrible. And I also wanted to show you something that I got at Barnes & Noble's yesterday, and it is a copy of King Lear by William Shakespeare. I have never read King Lear before, and I really wanted to add it to my collection in this beautiful Barnes & Noble edition that I love so much, because I just think it's the superior edition of Shakespearean plays, because I just love the layout of it, and I have ranted about it before in a previous video. But I wanted to read King Lear specifically because not only have I not read it before, but I also wanted to read it at the beginning of lockdown, because apparently William Shakespeare wrote King Lear during the bubonic plague in the 1600s. So I have a Mental Floss article that backs up this claim that I heard all over social media at the beginning of lockdown, where people were telling you to like start on your creative endeavors just like William Shakespeare did during the plague. And although I think that's bullshit, I do think it's interesting that he wrote it during the plague. So apparently he wrote King Lear and Macbeth and Antony and Cleopatra before the year was over, when all the theaters were closed and he was unable to work. So I thought that was really interesting, and I think it would be cool to see if there are any mentions of that in this story. I have quite literally no idea what King Lear is about, and I don't want to know anything. I just know it's a tragedy, and that's just all I need to know. So I can't wait to get into this one, and I hope I really enjoy it. So I wanted to show you this because this is something that I just recently acquired yesterday. But now I am going to get back into Malibu Rising because it's getting so tense right now at this party, and you just know that something is going to happen, and the chapters are even shorter, so you're just like quickly going through the book, and it's just so fast-paced right now, and I just want to ride that and keep on reading because I'm in a very big reading mood. So hopefully I can get to maybe page 250 today. That would be really cool, and then maybe I can finish it tomorrow and see how it all ends and see if it lives up to Daisy Jones and the Six and the Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo. Who knows? I started filming this and my battery died and I have to start all over. Let me make the lighting a little bit better at least. Alrighty. Here we go. Second time's the charm, apparently. So I just finished filming a book haul, and I just knew the moment I finished filming it, a book would come in the mail. And of course it did, because my luck would just be like that. So I thought I would include it in this vlog because it came in the day that I'm filming this, so here we go. I got 2 books in the mail from Penguin Random House because they send out like an email to bloggers to review and promote, and every month they give you a list of books to choose from. And I saw these 2 books, and one I already read, and one is from an author that I'm very interested by because a lot of people seem to enjoy her writing and find it lyrical and beautiful, and it just seems something that's right up my alley. So I requested one of her books, but let me show you the book that I already read. So the book is Hamnet by Maggie. This is the beautiful paperback edition that I just saw and clicked request and didn't think much about it because I just wanted it in my life. I just know I'm going to take so many beautiful photos of this novel because it is just stunning and very similar to the cover from the UK. I have wanted the UK edition of Hamnet so much in the past couple of weeks because I saw the Waterstones exclusive edition and it is just stunning, but it doesn't seem to ship over to America. So a lot of people on Instagram were kind enough to tell me that they could send it to me and mail it over to me, but the total cost of the book would be like $40 including the shipping, and I just cannot justify spending $40 on a single book when I can use $40 to buy so many other books in like a used bookshop. I just cannot justify spending that much money on a single book anymore. I've just grown out of that. So the moment I saw this edition on the blogger form, I knew I had to get it because it's very much similar to the Waterstones exclusive edition. I love the design of it. I think it's so much prettier than the US hardcover edition, and I just know I'm going to take so many photos of it. And the other book I got is from an author that everyone seems to love that I have never read before, but I really want to get into her works, and this particular book really piqued my interest by the summary of it and also the cover, and it is Summer by Allie Smith. I have heard a lot about Allie Smith from Kaylee over on her channel. I will be sure to link her channel down below because I absolutely love her vlogs. I think they're so soothing and calming. I just love how chatty she is. I love listening to her talk, and I have heard a lot about it from her, and it's really piqued my interest. So when I saw this on the forum, I thought I should really give her a try because so many people say that her writing is beautiful, and she has this series where she is writing a book for each season. And I think this is the final book in the series, so I know you can read it out of order. You can read it in any order that you want. So I guess I'm going to start with Summer, which is nice because I was born in summer, and that's when my life began. That's when it all started. That sounds so weird. I started my life in summer. But I did. So it says, in the present, Sasha knows the world is in trouble. Her brother Robert just is trouble. Their mother and father are having trouble. Meanwhile, the world's in meltdown, and the real meltdown hasn't even started yet. In the past, a lovely summer, a different brother and sister know they're living on borrowed time. This is a story about people on the brink of change. They're family, but they think they're strangers. So, where does family begin? And what do people who think they've got nothing in common have in common? Summer. I love stories about family. I've already spoken about this before in the vlog, but I just love familial explorations. I love the exploration of a group of people who are connected by blood, but sometimes share no commonalities with one another or share too many traits with one another. I love how vague this summary is. I really love going into a novel without knowing much about it, and I'm very excited to dive into an Allie Smith novel. I know her other ones are... How did I ready... Can you see it? Can you see it? I already got lipstick on it. I can't be trusted. But nonetheless, I'm excited to start with Summer because, like I said, my life began with Summer, and hopefully fall in love with Allie Smith's writing, and then I can eventually read her other novels as well, centered around the other seasons. But this just seems like a beautiful lyrical read, and the font is big, my friends. The font is big. You know how I feel about small fonts. So this is good. This is good. I know we're gonna jive together. Allie Smith and I are already friends, okay? I'm excited to read this book. So thank you so much to Penguin Random House for providing me with these two lovely novels. I already loved this one, and I already want you all to read this one. So maybe I'll love this one, and then I'll rant and rave about it on my channel in the future. Who knows? That's a little book haul for you. We are filming in this corner of my room because the rest of it is a true disaster right now. But I finally finished Malibu Rising, and I have thoughts. I wrote down all my thoughts because I am filming this a couple days later after I finished the book because I didn't have time to film this wrap up, but I want to let you know about my thoughts. I rated it a 3.5 on Goodreads, and I'm going to stand by that rating because it is not as good as Daisy Jones and the Six, and it's not as good as The Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo in my eyes. While I was initially wary about this book because it was slow to get into, I did really get into it when we started flip-flopping between the past and the present to show these siblings' lives, to show their parents and how they met, how they married, how they raised these children, and the strife that they had to go through throughout the years of these children's childhoods. And while we explore the past, we follow these siblings as they are preparing for their end of the summer party that they throw every single year that is meant to be one of the biggest parties in Malibu. And you just feel the tension that something is going to happen at that party, that something is going to change their lives forever. So I did really enjoy that tension that was growing. And then we hit part 2 of the novel, and that is when we leave the past behind and we focus solely on the present and these characters at this party. So we get very quick, very short chapters showing all these different siblings and what they are doing at the party, the drama that they are getting into, and we also follow side characters who are also attending this party. They are also getting into a bunch of shenanigans, but when you are reading it, you're not very connected to them because you don't know them, you don't know their backstory the way you know the Riva's backstories, and you don't necessarily care about their motivations or what they are doing at this party. those chapters felt very random and very useless in a way, and it kind of takes you out of the story because you're really focused on these Rivas and you want to know what's going to happen in their lives because they have a lot going on in their individual lives. So when you are following these random party goers, it really takes you out of the story every time it happens. And what really made me rate this book a 3.5 instead of a 5 out of 5 or a 4 out of 5 is the fact that in the end it's very anticlimactic and a very weak finish. It seems very quick to wrap up and everything just kind of falls into place too easily, and the tension that is growing kind of leaves you hanging there. There's nothing really explosive that happens at the end of the book that you would expect to happen, that you were hoping to happen. And that's what really bothered me about the story. Mostly it was the pacing and the fact that we are building up to this moment that is such a letdown, that is such a weak finish, as well as the fact that I didn't feel connected to any of the Riva characters. While we did follow pieces of their lives, I didn't feel like I actually knew these characters the way that I knew Daisy Jones, the way that I knew Evelyn Hugo, the way that you can just say Daisy Jones and people feel like that's a real person. And she feels like a real celebrity. When I think of the Riva characters, I think of them as just flat characters who had no real substance, who had very intriguing secrets to hide, but that's about it. I just feel like I was being told a story rather than being immersed into a story. So I think that's what's really different from Daisy Jones and the Six and Evelyn Hugo and Malibu Rising. This feels very much like a story, and this feels like you're being immersed into a whole different world that you never want to leave, that feels so real that they feel like actual celebrities. So while this was a very readable book and very entertaining and there were so many secrets that made me gasp, it did have a very weak finish and I just feel like the pacing was very off. So I know a lot of people can definitely enjoy this book as much as they enjoyed other books by Taylor Jenkins Reid, but for me it just was a letdown because I had such high hopes for this novel and it didn't really perform as well as other books that I've read by her. But I still really enjoyed the journey along the way. In no way do I hate this book, in no way that I wouldn't recommend it. I'm just saying it was a bit of a letdown and I wish there was just more to it. I wish it was lengthier. I wish we didn't follow those random party goers. I wish that we learned more about these siblings rather than just feeling like we were thrust into this moment with them and you didn't really know about their motivations and you didn't feel truly connected to them. But I still really enjoyed myself along the way. I enjoyed my reading process. I enjoyed filming it for you, and I hope you enjoyed watching it as well. If you have read Malibu Rising, please let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. But remember to be kind because we all have different book opinions and that's totally fine in the end of the day. So thank you so much to everyone who watched my previous video showing you the books that I wanted you to vote on for me to read. I hope you enjoyed watching this end product. I really enjoyed that whole entire video where you got to vote on what I would read. I thought it was a really fun process to get you involved in my reading life, and I hope you enjoyed this reading vlog as well. If there are other reading vlog ideas that you want me to do or any other video ideas in general that you want me to film, put them down below because your ideas really do inspire me. So I am always so grateful when people pop down the ideas because I really do take them into account. And if you want to connect with me elsewhere, all my social media links will be down below. And if you want to join my Patreon to get exclusive content that you won't see anywhere else, that will also be linked down below, and I'm really enjoying the community that I'm creating over there. And you can get exclusive podcast episodes from me, you can get blog posts from me that you won't see anywhere else, and behind the scenes content, and I'm really loving what I'm creating over there, so be sure to check that out too. And I hope you enjoyed this reading vlog, and thank you so much for spending your time with me. Have a good day, and I'll see you in another video. Bye!